as a team has worked for Khakee the Bengal chapter. There's nobody who's competed with a different actor कि चलो मैं आज खाने वाला हूँ, it's going to be a lunch today. It was never like that.
If you don't dream big, that was always there. I used to believe myself that I have it in me. And I said that okay, अगर ये होता है तो अच्छा है, नहीं होता है तो मेरे दिमाग में हमेशा ऐसा था कि मैं वापस जाके शायद थिएटर कर लूंगी.
And all this love, adulation, recognition, all these things they come through your work. Okay, आप अगर काम ऐसा कुछ कर दे रहे हैं जो लोगों को दिलों को छू जा रहा है तो आप अपने आप जगह बना लेते हैं और बाकी पूरा खेला जो होता है वो तकदीर का होता है.
You know, I believe that whenever I wake up with hope. You know, and whenever I sleep, that dream.
Right.
You know, though that is very, very important.
Hi everyone, this is Kunal Kothari. You're watching me on IWMBuzz और मैंने थोड़ी देर पहले ना दूसरा एक और इंटरव्यू किया और वहाँ बोला था फन बंच के साथ बैठा हूँ एंड आई थिंक दैट फन इज जस्ट गोना गेट क्रेजियर एंड क्रेजियर बिकॉज यहाँ पे भी फन बंच ही है पर बहुत अलग टाइप का है बिकॉज दे आर डूइंग अ लॉट ऑफ फन हियर ऑफ स्क्रीन बट ऑन स्क्रीन उतना फन उनको करने शायद मिला नहीं. Let's talk about that. Of course, I'm talking to the fantastic cast and the director of Khakee the Bengal chapter, the lovely people. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Fabulous. You know, sir, firstly, sir, Jeet, I have to start with you because I think your journey is fascinating. वो बोलते हैं ना वो classic journey जो हम बोलते हैं कि शुरू कहाँ से किया और अब कहाँ पर है वो है मतलब वो तो है ही. But what I want to know is that after having those initial trials and tribulations, okay, because as I mentioned, everyone goes through that, the topsy-turvy thing, right? But what do you believe that apart from obviously knowing the language, what was it that the Bengali audience found that connect with you and you also found that connect with them, which didn't really happen initially. Now it's, you know, finally opening other avenues.
So I think, technically I'm born and raised in Kolkata. I have tried to get something in Hindi in my early days. But then destiny took me back to my own city, my birthplace, and that is where I got my recognition. And all this love, adulation, recognition, all these things, they come through your work. Okay, आप अगर काम ऐसा कुछ कर दे रहे हैं जो लोगों को दिलों को छू जा रहा है तो आप अपने आप जगह बना लेते हैं और बाकी पूरा खेला जो होता है वो तकदीर का होता है. तो उस समय मेरा बंगाल में जो अब तक का चैप्टर लिखा गया है वो मेरी तकदीर में इस तरह से बना हुआ था. नॉट दैट आई डिड नॉट वांटेड टू कम इन हिंदी. और आपकी जानकारी के लिए बता दूं कि मैं बंगाल में पैदा हुआ हूँ, बंगाल में काम करता हूँ और मैं अदरवाइज बंगाली हूँ लेकिन मेरी मातृभाषा सिंधी है.
Right, of course, yeah. Madani is your surname, yeah, exactly. Right, of course.
हाँ, तो यही है. इसलिए मुझे चूंकि मैं हिंदी भाषी रहा हूँ, हिंदी में पढ़ाई करता था तो मेरी हमेशा यही कोशिश थी कि मुझे कब हिंदी में मौका मिलेगा, कब काम करने का चांस मिलेगा. तो इत्तेफाक से इस बार खाकी के थ्रू से ये शुरू हुआ एंड आई एम हैप्पी दैट इट हैपेंड दिस वे.
Super, fabulous, sir. And the both of you, you know, Mimoh and Aakanksha, of course, you know, again, I was talking to the other set of people, and it's fabulous to see the journeys that, you know, you all have as actors have been through, right? And वो होता है ना sometimes some actor journeys you see and feel it feels like a personal victory. There's no quantification to it. There's no real reasoning for it. It just feels like that. And you two are probably one of the primary examples of it. You know, you having your set of, you know, lineage, criticism, blah blah blah. You having, you know, which is the worst thing, terribly tagged TV actor thing, rising above it. How much do you think that became a factor in those years when it was still, you know, in the growing stages, it was happening with you? How do you persevere through that and keep that hope alive that, nay, it'll happen?
Yeah, so it was very difficult. I won't lie. Coming from that tag and, you know, just deciding that no, I want to explore myself as an actor coming from a theatre background. I don't want to repeat myself. When that thought was there, no, I believed in myself. And I always say that I always believed in me, saying that, okay, it will happen. And if you believe something, I don't know if you guys believe in manifestation or not.
Yes,
I believe a lot.
There's a CBA theory.
Yeah. So,
CBA theory is what conceive, believe and achieve.
yeah,
oh,
so I believe it. If you don't dream big, that was always there. I used to believe myself that I have it in me. And I said that okay, अगर ये होता है तो अच्छा है, नहीं होता है तो मेरे दिमाग में हमेशा ऐसा था कि मैं वापस जाके शायद थिएटर कर लूंगी. That passion should be alive in me. I can't work for money. With due respect, because I am also from television, the hard work the TV actor puts
Oh,
in,
yes.
it's an amazing level of hard work. I have been through it. But at the same time, I don't want to repeat myself every day doing the same thing. Yes, you get a lot of money
Yeah.
in television, but that was never my choice of, going ahead to work. So it took me time. It took a lot of time, but South happened, Badri happened,
Yeah.
and slowly that notion changed. And it changed. I tried to change it when it was still, on a top of everybody's mind that she's a TV actor or film actor or whatsoever. So I think I took it as a challenge. I said no. If it's not working right now, इसके पीछे भी reason है, and that reason will be a good reason only.
Right.
So I think, और आपको जहाँ जिस समय पे होना होता है और जो आपके लिए लिखा गया है ना, वो आपसे कोई नहीं छीन सकता. Yes, it will take time.
Yeah.
हो सकता है कि कभी आपको some people get success in 25, some people get success in 50. We have examples like that in our industry. And the good thing in today's generation or today's format of cinema is like there is no age anymore. Be it a male actor or female actor, no. An actor is an actor. And there are roles getting, written for female actors. So I think this is the best era you can work in. So,
True. Fabulous. Mimoh, please.
Well, as you asked, about the trials and tribulations, see, who likes failure? Nobody likes failure.
Of course.
Who likes to hit rock bottom? But they say, right, that the only way after hitting rock bottom is up. So today, when I'm sitting here with these amazing people and being a part of this amazing show, all those failures and rejections and those trolls and the bad comments, everything makes sense today. You know what I mean? So it's like, they made me who I am today.
True.
And it's very important because अगर आपको सब दिया जाता है ना, you don't value it.
Yeah.
You need those failures. You need to feel like nothing's working for you, because then that is when your true mettle is tested. Okay, are you motivated enough to stay? Are you patient enough to fight another day?
Correct.
I believe that whenever I wake up with hope. And whenever I sleep, I wake up with that dream. Sorry, I sleep with that dream.
Right.
Though that is very, very important. Now, Dad told me a very good thing. He says that God envies us mortals because we don't know what will happen next. God knows everything, but we don't. And that's the most exciting thing. That you never know tomorrow when you will get that call or when you'll get selected for that audition.
Right.
So that's the crazy part of being alive and being a human being.
Super.
So I believe that today everything makes sense, but everything defined me for the man I am today. If I would have gotten Khakee 10-15 years ago, I wouldn't have been so grateful about it like how I am
Agreed.
today. Because of those setbacks, because of constantly reminding people, telling you you're not good enough. That made me prove that yes, the time, as Aakanksha said, as Jeet said, everything is placed. हमें नहीं पता है. But today it is. Today is that, and I just keep saying I'm grateful. That is the only thing I can say. Thank you. Because who isn't talented?
Of course.
Who isn't motivated? But it's about that opportunity, and someone up there has the strings attached.
True.
So that's great.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Fabulous. And of course, Debatma, it is fascinating with this show. What I find the best thing is that it's such a concoction of pure masala, but done in the best way possible. And I don't say it for the sake of it, because we have a million examples out there how badly it's done, right? So this is one of those rare examples, this brutality, suspense, gore, everything is going, But as a director, what I find that, of course, again, as I mentioned, there's no quantification on how do you strike that balance. It never goes into the ridiculous angle, when people start completely going away, yaar, abhi to zyada ho raha hai. Also, it doesn't stay into the too subtle and, too nuanced also, which probably isn't that entertaining per se.
Correct.
Finding that balance, what are the do's and don'ts for you when you're directing this, these lot of actors and everything?
I think even before directing, it is in the writing. I think Neeraj, being the amazing maker that he is, he being a very important part of the writing team, which was Neeraj, I and Mimoh Chakraborty, we all kind of sat together, wrote a story that was extremely interesting on the paper and intriguing and engaging, and we knew when it comes out, it's going to entertain. It was entertaining us first, and we were only hoping it would entertain the audience second. उसके बाद जब आप डायरेक्ट करने जाते हो, I along with Tushar Kantire, who's the other director for
Right,
the
of
show,
course.
what we always wanted on set was to be very honest to the written document, to the written this thing. And again, along with that, because we've grown up in Calcutta, because we know the place, we know how people react to it, what the story speaks to us a little differently, I think, because we belong to that place. It was generally a very easy thing to kind of then follow up and do, and these amazing actors just to tell them what we want, and them also realizing ki this. And I'll tell you, every actor that's come on board has worked for, as a team, has worked for Khakee the Bengal chapter. There's nobody who's competed with a different actor ki chalo मैं आज खाने वाला हूँ, it's going to be a lunch today. It was never like that. Everybody, every technician came on board, and they all were working towards one single vision, which was the Bengal chapter and how to make it amazing. And I think that is what sets it apart also. That is when, while you're seeing the show also, you find every character to be very different from each other. ऐसा नहीं है कि they are all like a generic कि चलो सब पुलिस वाले आ जाओ, सारे पुलिस वाले बने हैं ऐसा, सब पुलिस, वो ऐसा वाला नहीं है. अगर गुंडे हैं तो सब ऐसा चलो गालियाँ देना चालू करो, वैसा भी नहीं है. When you see the show, you realize कि every character has been thought of, every character has been taken care like they are our own babies, and that's what I think. I'm so thankful that you put it out. Ki, that is what kind of sets it apart also, and that is also what hits a balance between everything. Whilst there is so much happening in the show. So
Absolutely.
That's the process, I think.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. And amongst what we're talking about, the massy aspect of it, but there are nuances. I was talking about the nuances otherwise also to fellow critics and everyone, especially with the three of you and the rest of the police squad. As it was such a competent squad, by the way, right? Amazing set of people doing some crazy, not so crazy things here and there. What I found fascinating, as he sort of touched upon right now, is that there are no tropes in this police squad. There is no comical sidekick, which is so common. कि एक sir है और एक comical sidekick होगा और वो उसका you have to have that sahanubhuti and stuff goes crazy later. Plus, though there are those lunch scenes and dinner scenes between, this is one I think where everybody is just having a drink and lunch, but usme bhi there is no fun per se, right? So my question is that as actors, you are trying to convey that we have a camaraderie as a police squad, we care for each other, but we are still professionals, we are still doing our work. Apart from what was written on the script, the three of you, and of course the other set of people who were the police members, what is it that you try to elevate it as actors? Go beyond the script, but never go beyond the realm of, believability.
No, we never went out of the script. Yeah, if there was anything which is popping in our minds, we were discussing with the directors, because they were, especially the writer-director Debatma or Tushar per se. So they have been involved with the script from the inception, and for us it was important to follow them.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's a director's medium. Actors with their free thoughts, they can travel anywhere. But it is director's job to आपको बांध के रखे उस जगह पर ले आना कि आपसे हमें यही चाहिए. बस तो अगर वो ट्रस्ट आप डायरेक्टर पे दिखाते हैं तो आपका काम खुद ही आसान हो जाता है.
Right. As Jeet said, as a director's medium, because I believe that actors, we are puppets. We go along with the strings that have been played for us, and it's very, very important to know that you're safe, you're in safe hands, And when it came to the camaraderie, I think that is because everybody on set was in unison. That is the best thing, and it's a very rarity which happens in ensembles like this, that everyone is in sync with each other, and as you said, nobody's trying to topple each other.
True.
We are very comfortable and safe where we are because we believe in the story. Because हम सबको कहानी पसंद आई, you know what I mean? And everybody is just happy. Yes, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm going to do my best.
Yeah.
And that is what the audiences are seeing now. It's the unison of the entire unit, not just the actors. The director, the producer, the sound recorders, the light man, the focus puller, the actors, everyone was in sync.
Yeah.
And when that happens, magic happens.
And also, if you see as characters also, there is a class which every character has maintained. Like you are saying that it's not something, the story is not like that we have a comical part to play or this and that. So even if it's a normal scene, how as normal human being we'll talk. We just had this in mind that we don't want to do anything over dramatic. You know, so that subtlety in itself has this has finished the characters in a way where we didn't have to do anything over the board. So,
Can we call it a no-nonsense show?
yeah,
Absolutely.
no nonsense.
It is a no-nonsense.
No
Also,
nonsense.
just to
story is
add,
no
I think,
nonsense.
also just to add, I think this camaraderie not only among the policemen. If you see the dark side, the
Oh,
underbelly
yes,
of
of course.
Yeah, that's what he
Yeah.
said.
they look like they grew up together. I
Correct.
think.
Yes.
I think what we strived for was to, when you see them, they should look like they've all grown up together in that
Yeah.
same para, in that same locality, you know. And I think somewhere that has happened, and also very organically, because they've
Organic.
become all great friends. I mean,
Yes.
Everyone.
everyone.
Yeah, even the not so primary characters, even they are so important. Like as you mentioned, they look like they've been there,
Yeah.
living there for their life, and that translates, which as you mentioned is rare. Fabulous. And Debatma, just one character, I felt, and I was just curious more than it being a part of being underwhelming. It just felt curious that even a character like Shraddha Das's character, she just comes for 2 scenes,
Yeah.
but she's like propeller. She's
Correct.
the propeller of how things happen, right? Especially without spoiling anything, especially in the ending theme bits. What I found curious is that Pooja Chopra's character comes for a couple of scenes, but doesn't really, have that kind of a justification per se, or doesn't add up to how, Jeet Das' character is making choices or doing things. So how much of that was a conscious effort, or how much of that was that, okay, this is how it's supposed to be?
Mostly it is always this is how it's supposed to be. I mean there is barely any effort shows. Matlab, when you're pushing it, this is where the character goes, this is where the arc is, and if you're trying to push it even further, it always feels a little pushed. What we did through the whole show, I think we did not really put too much effort into ki chalo isko aur, because I'm pretty sure there are a lot of characters that a lot of people would want to watch more of.
Yeah.
But the idea, the fun bit is to not give them that. I mean the
Nice.
fun is, हाँ मतलब आपको बिरयानी खाना बहुत अच्छा लगता है, आपको मैं एक बाल्टी बिरयानी, what's
मजा
the
नहीं
point?
है,
I mean you get served a little. I think that gives you the most amount of satisfaction. In economics we learn about utility and demand, and that is the balancing that you should do in any storytelling, I think.
Right.
And that I think is something that we've done.
No, that's completely fair actually. Super. And I kept talking about the more nuanced scenes and everything. And everyone, I talked about my favorite scenes of each character otherwise. I won't go into detail with that because that will be a long interview otherwise. What I want to know is that did y'all have, scenes? I wouldn't say favorite scenes. That's a very, generic term to put at it. But there are scenes where you feel that not about that maine isko tod diya ya maine fad diya, but scenes which you hope and you just have that hope that okay, audience will probably notice this scene somehow, and that is sort of the sur of my character in one way or another. Did you guys have any of those scenes?
See, I believe that when it comes to an actor, कि ये मैंने जैसे आपने कहा कि मैंने इस सीन में फाड़ लिया, I don't think that even if we think that way ना, they are the real heroes of our lives, वो जो decide करेंगे ना, हमें लगता है कि मैंने जिस तरीके से चाय उठाई ना, क्या shot दिया, but it might be the way through the cup, जो audience बोले, कि क्या मारा आपने, you know what I mean? So I think that as an actor, we are always molded like clay by the audience.
Right.
I think that's very important. So we need to keep that, free motion. It's like, how a stream merges into the river. I think that is very, very important, that you hit the stones on the way. But how you are getting molded by the audience, I think that is very, very important. So for me, I can never pinpoint on that one scene, because I may because see, emotions, we all laugh, we all cry, we all get thrilled, we all get scared. So how will you do it differently for the other character? That's very different.
Right.
So there's not one pinpoint part of the scene where I can say, हाँ ये मैंने अच्छा किया, because I might think it's good because the actor Mimoh is involved in it. Mimoh's thought is involved, but the audience, what they think, that is the real thing.
True.
So that's my answer.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very difficult to pinpoint one
Hello?
particular thing. I would say that I thoroughly enjoyed the interrogation
Interrogation scene.
We'll
Scene.
just say interrogation.
interrogation scene. I thoroughly enjoyed because I feel it is very difficult as an actor to convey the things if you are, at a place and limited
yes.
in your space and you just have to emote. I really enjoyed it, and I would say I'm not in a sense that I love my performance, but I feel that in that scene I felt it. I felt it that I really was living in the character. So I would say that
Fabulous. Jeet.
Whichever people likes it, that's yeah.
That's spoken like a true superstar.
Yeah.
जो लोगों को पसंद आ गया
नहीं, मुझे अपना काम जल्दी पसंद नहीं आता है.
Really?
हाँ, मुझे अपना काम जल्दी पसंद नहीं आता है. मैं देखता हूँ तो हर बार मुझे कुछ ना कुछ क्रिटिकली दिखाई देता है. मुझे लगता है कि यहाँ अच्छा हो सकता है, यहाँ अच्छा हो सकता है. इसीलिए जो दर्शकों को पसंद आता है वही मेरा फेवरेट है.
But I do want to add to what Aakanksha said. It's a little bit of a tidbit behind the scenes. The things which she's mentioning, we were shooting it in difficult hours of the day, and as it continues, in the show. So me and Aakanksha and I think Debatma, we were having, and even Jeet was there.
Yeah.
We were having a normal conversation, and Aakanksha is just talking to us. Within a second, she just slept.
Yeah.
So we were shooting night.
Oh,
And you would believe that it was 6 in the morning and the whole
true.
night we were shooting, and I was sitting at a place,
chained.
and you won't believe I was wide awake, and it was like, oh shit, what happened? And they were like, are you okay?
We all saw it.
And the camera was at the back,
Right.
and they were standing in front of me, and I was like,
I was not in that shot. I was waiting for the next shot.
Next
shot,
On the
okay,
sides,
I was
yeah.
like, zoop, and I was just blacked out in 2 minutes ke liye, and I was like, okay, you continue.
That was there, Like, you can see, as I said, it's about the passion which is involved. We don't look, when we look back, we think about these stories and we are so proud that, we live through those moments, because in the end, when we get to hear from them and from you and from everybody that, they are liking the show, I think that is the biggest achievement for us, because it's not just about validation, it's about the passion involved in it. कि यार हम आपके लिए कर रहे हैं.
Right.
You are subscribing to Netflix. You are giving us your time. We need to owe up to that.
Correct.
It is our solemn responsibility to make sure that you're entertained. And when that happens, all of this becomes just beautiful.
Fabulous. And finally, on a parting note, Jeeta, I have to end it with you because again, superstar se end nahi karenge to people will kill me. No, sir, you've no idea. Your wagon is crazy. Your fan wagon. But on a very, lighter note, you mentioned, you sort of touched upon it at the trailer launch that, you hope that, this opens up avenues. It opens up avenues, and I'm not just talking about the Hindi belt, because log Hindi belt ke bare mein baat karte rehte hain ki bada hai. It's not really the case. Now it's an overall thing. It is that so-called pan-India, which is bastardized a little more, but it's actually true. We're talking about a more universal appeal now. What do you believe, sir, ke a show like this, a character like this, an exploration which is now more universal for you as an actor, वो किस तरह के avenues आपके लिए खोले, आप hope करते हैं at this stage in your life where you've achieved a lot and you still want to achieve a lot?
There's only one aspiration, to reach more hearts. That's it. Like, be it through Hindi, Bangla, South or Mexican. I just want to reach maximum number of hearts in the world. That's it.
That's
right.
Yeah.
No, and that is perfect. I think all of us sort of want to do that in our own ways.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
This was lovely, and of course we can just go on and nerd about it, but unfortunately we can't. I love the show, and again, I'm not saying for the sake of it, I genuinely did. So I just hope it keeps traveling more and more, and wish you all the best for all of you for whatever you have lined up ahead.
Thank you very
so
much. You
much.
can do
Thank
your
you.
part, like as in you can spread words as much as possible.
Absolutely, sir. Already on it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you
so
so
much.
much.